moving towards Ewan within the next 5 to 10 minutes, Brilliant within 15 minutes. So we will watch this. And where's this one?
This is from Columbus.
Oh, yeah, this
there are
is
reports of a wall cloud in Columbus. Also, there's been debris that's been reported along Highway 45 near Artesia, which is south of Columbus.
Yep.
So there's a train spotter that's they're calling this an observed tornado now in Lowndes County, Mississippi.
Okay.
So
well,
that'll be moving towards Lamar County and northern Pickens County. So this is the tornado warning that they have visual confirmation and damage reports there.
Guys, if you look at that video, it looks like there could be some hail with that. I don't know if it's just highly reflective rain because of the street lights there, or
you can see clumps.
We can actually see some physical hail with that. So yeah, thanks for expanding that. Look at the street. You can almost see it bouncing off the roads. Look at that. Okay, now this is in Columbus. Now, folks, this is only about 20 miles away from Alabama state line. So folks in Alabama need to heed warning. Let's not be out on the roadways right now. Let's go ahead and get indoors. That's your safest place to be right now. And again, as Griffin just mentioned, we're mentioning this as an observed tornado because a trained eye noticed a few of those key visuals. Look at that lightning. Wow, this is going to be...
People do not need to be driving there right now.
Not at all. So we've had a trained spotter see something that he thinks could be a tornado, so we're calling it an observed tornado, not necessarily a confirmed, but an observed area of rotation for sure. And that is tracking through Columbus. This is downtown Columbus. And even as we're watching this, you can even see the intensity of rain picking up. And look, you can almost see the wind kind of jostling some of the lights down there, the red lights. So folks, the wind, and you can even see how the wind is really blowing so hard that rain is kind of almost raining sideways there over the street level. So this rainfall will continue to pick up. It's going to be increasing as it heads towards Millport there in Vernon. And so this is an area that we're watching very closely. Right now, we can send it over to Nate. Looks like he's tracking some of that wind velocity right now. Nate?
Yeah, so Griffin at the controls, we're tracking that wind velocity, that storm just north of Columbus. Yeah, that's a mean stuff. And this is actually a debris indicator.
Sorry, hold back.
Yeah, so this is something we don't really like to show, but this is a good thing to show real quickly. So kind of a rough explanation here. All of this similar looking pink and purple. All right, so that means that things falling from the sky are similar. Okay, so we've got raindrops and things like that. When you start to see these colorations change to these blues and greens, that means that things aren't similar. Okay, that means we could have hail or we could actually have debris lofted in the air. So the radar is actually picking up on things that are not rain. So most of these storms north of that Columbus line, that was picking up on some of that debris. Right now, that storm that most likely producing what was called an observed tornado near Columbus, right now doesn't have debris with it, but there was reports of debris and damage down. So that's something that we'll obviously watch very closely. But the wind velocity, these storms moving across the state line very, very shortly. So the actual radar presentation, it's kind of messy right now. And is this from the Columbus radar just north?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so yeah, so the radar beam is off to the north, looking down into the storm. You're probably getting a whole lot of scattered because it's actually looking through some of the nastiest part of this storm. So it's not exactly clear, but look at all this. This is all purple, deep purple, meaning most likely hail that we saw on that MDOT camera. But this is Griffin drew it. This is the inflow. This is called a bounded weak echo region, which is pretty indicative of some rotation too. When you have all of these deep reds and the reflectivity here, you have this donut hole. And that's a good sign that you most likely have a tornado on the ground. Sarah's got some information, I'm sure, from the National Weather Service. They've been monitoring all this all day. Sarah, what you got?
Yeah, they're watching that cell very closely because they are seeing rotation, and they're actually watching it live on some of the cameras there and seeing that rotation through Columbus. That is going to be tracking towards Lamar County. So the National Weather Service here in Birmingham is likely going to be extending that warning as this storm gets closer. I want to update you for the folks in Marion Marion County, those severe thunderstorm warnings have expired. They are now just going with a significant weather advisory. So that's a sign that things are starting to become a little bit more stable up to our north and west. But the storms back through Columbus are coming into an area that hasn't seen a whole lot of rainfall just yet. We are seeing a little bit of development ahead of this possible tornado through Columbus. So hopefully that'll zap that energy just a bit. But with temperatures in the 70s this afternoon, we are nowhere near done with this threat just yet, Nate.
Yeah, that's what it's a great point that you mentioned. The storms that are entering Marion and Winston County, they've already been through it today. They've already had areas of rainfall that have started to stabilize the atmosphere. That's when that line moved across a state line. It looked really impressive. Then once it got into Marion County, it just started to fall apart. So that's good news, obviously, for our northwestern counties. But what is not good news for our southwestern counties are these large supercell thunderstorms that have had a history of producing hail, that have had a history of producing at least tornado damage like tornado damage. Okay, so we can't officially call it a tornado, but we've got trained spotters on the ground that say so we'll go with that. Once these storms start to get close, it can't be more than probably 15 or 20 minutes until the National Weather Service reissues these tornado warnings across the state line. So right here, look at this. This is indicating very strong rotation. We're talking 80-mile-per-hour rotation here, okay? Outside of that, you've got lots of hail, but right here, concentrated just north of Columbus, we're talking about, what's that, Griffin? Go ahead.
Right on top of downtown.
So right on top of downtown, we're talking about 80-mile-per-hour rotation, okay? So that means the wind's flowing away from the radar, the wind's flowing to the radar. You kind of do some fancy math and science, and you get about an 80-mile-per-hour couplet, okay? So that means we could be talking about a EF0, possibly close to an EF1 tornado right now. We're not going to obviously speculate, but that's kind of the conversion there. And really that couplet right here, yep, there it is.
Right there.
Boom. And we could be talking about 100 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear right there, right north of downtown, or really right on top of downtown Columbus. So what we saw on that MDOT camera with all of that heavy rain, torrential rain, lots of lightning, the hail, all of that due to this storm, which is making a beeline for our southwestern counties, which have not had any sort of rain really in the last several hours. We've had a recovery time for the atmosphere to destabilize with all of that very energetic moisture moving in. So this is why we're really concerned. This is why we keep harping on these storms that are in Mississippi, that we want you to be very close to the Alabama-Mississippi state line. It'll be moving across into our southwestern counties here very shortly. Guys, back over to you.
Yeah, the National Weather Service has just mentioned folks in Lamar and Pickens County, you should be getting into your safe place now, Ashley.
Right now.
There's your debris right here, actually.
That's a debris signature right there, just northeast of Columbus.
So yeah, so pop on, if we can go back to the Monterey real quick. Griffin's got it right here. That's your debris. That's your debris ball right here. So we were talking about the different stuff in the sky. Whenever you get the change here, that is your debris just northwest or northeast of the city of Columbus. So that is most likely, that's current right now. So this is debris in the air right now from that tornado that we saw is moving very close to the Alabama-Mississippi state line. Really good catch there, Griffin. Appreciate that, being on top of it. So let's kind of widen out the view a little bit because this might not be 100% familiar to a lot of folks. But here's Columbus, and then here's Lamar County, okay? So northern Pickens, Lamar County right here. So kind of draw a line. We're talking right near the Pickens-Lamar County line. And we've had tornadoes here in the not too recent past. A couple of years ago with Tropical Storm Cindy, we had tornadoes here that we covered extensively. So this is kind of the same area that have seen some tornadoes and lots of extensive damage in the not too recent past, guys.
All right, Nate, well, I'll take it from here. So as we're tracking this storm, and look at that.
Gosh, look at that.
And where's that video from?
Yes.
That's from Burnsfield, Mississippi. That's in East Mississippi.
Burnsville.
Oh, it's in Alcorn County, yes. So that is, I mean, as we've said before, that looks like a tornado. There's a tree line there, so I mean, I think it's touching the ground, so it's safe to say that is a tornado. This is not live video, is this, or is this video that This is a picture. Okay, so this is a picture that was sent to us. So again, this storm system has history, and this storm system is now moving towards the community of Millport. This is going to be moving due east, and so as we've been tracking the debris ball there, as we've been tracking those, talking about the velocity products, this is heading towards the community of Fernbank. This is going to be along Highway 96, and then also Mud Creek Road. That's State Road 9. It runs north to south from Millport to Vernon, and then anywhere kind of along that Pickens County road. It extends south from Highway 96 there, which kind of connects, it runs from Columbus basically to Millport. Then you have Highway 82 that drops south, and it goes from Columbus essentially, and you get off 82 and it drops down to Reform. So that's where we're going to be tracking this, but I think this is going to stay just a little north of Reform at this point, and it's going to stay a little north of that Highway 82 as it drops further south, but we're going to be tracking this as it's going to be heading due east right now, and again heading towards the city of Millport and Fernbank. So we're continuing to track that. Let's send it to the Weather Center right now. Sarah, are you seeing any updates from the National Weather Service?
The National Weather Service is monitoring this storm very closely and waiting a couple more scans of the radar that come out just a matter of minutes to continue this possibly into Lamar and Pickens County, but they want folks to be getting ready right now for the possibility of this tornado crossing the state line. So you have time right now if you are in Lamar and Pickens County, folks towards Reform, folks in Millport, even Vernon, just to be safe if you can, get to a tornado shelter if you live in a mobile home right now through Lamar and Pickens County. I'm sure those storm shelters will be opening up if they're not already. So you have time right now, but that's the main message from the National Weather Service, that they're watching this very closely, this area through Columbus, and want folks in Lamar and Pickens County to get ready or get into their safe place right now.
Yeah, Sarah, on the storm team radar picture with the debris indicator, this thing has held a tornado debris signature for the past couple of scans, and this is 100% causing damage just to the east of downtown
and
Columbus.
Just to point that out, yeah, where you're seeing that blue right there.
Yep. That's a bullseye for sure. And this is right on top of Highway 82. And this is headed in the general direction. I mean, this is going to be crossing the state line, I would say, within the next 15 to 20 minutes. So if you're in Melbourne, if you're in Fernbank or Millport or Star, any of these places that are in Lamar County, you need to take this very seriously because this is a confirmed tornado that's on the ground and causing damage. I mean, right there, just with that last scan, that is, it seems to be even growing in strength, I would say. That is a very mean-looking signature that's in Lowndes County, Mississippi right now. So if you are anywhere within Lamar County, the warning is not issued yet, but I would go ahead and take shelter immediately because this warning is going to be coming out, and that is a very mean-looking signature right there on radar.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked they haven't issued the warning yet. That's pretty surprising. Because
as of 1 minute ago, they say they're still standing by.
Yeah,
right there.
I'm sure. Yeah, so that's the debris. I know this looks. This doesn't look like your traditional radar map. Okay, so kind of just think that all of this pink and purple region is rain. Okay, so what you see here is not rain. It's most likely debris being lofted in the air due to this tornado. Okay, so what you have to the north is probably a little bit of that and maybe hail. Okay, so that's the hail most likely. So that's different. And was that debris indicator, or was that the
that's a
shear marker just issued? Okay,
yeah, that's a shear marker.
So this is another part of our new Barron weather system. We get the radar algorithm basically picks up on the difference of wind velocity in different directions, which is called shear, and it shows these shear markers. This is basically where your tornado is going to be in real time. This isn't gospel, but it's pretty close. And this is what they issued based on that tornado debris indication and also the shear markers as well. If we can pop on the Barron button, Griffin, real quick, we can kind of show you the particulars with this storm.
Looky there.
So we're talking about hail up to an inch in diameter or so. And then there's your shear right here. So we're talking about 70 mile per hour shear, I believe, if we can query that. So that's, okay, so that's severe thunderstorm strength winds. However, we're talking about shear most likely in the 60 to 70 mile per hour range, enough to cause this debris ball right here. And that's our debris indicator about to move in to our southwestern counties. Okay, so we keep saying that. Right now, there are no warnings for folks in central Alabama.
The warning will be coming for Lamar shortly,
Okay.
they're saying now.
Okay.
All right, so folks in Lamar County, take shelter.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So just for Lamar County?
They're saying
For
just for
now,
Lamar
Lamar.
County for now.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So we'll watch that very
Here we go.
closely, and it's
There it is.
Just issued.
and just issued. So that'll be coming up on our
We'll
screen
wait for that
very,
to
very
pop
shortly.
up.
Yeah. So let's actually go back over to
Here it
Ashley.
is.
Yeah, okay, so we'll show you on the map real quick. All right, this warning just popped up. It does include, as we mentioned in the last 5 minutes, from Millport up to Vernon, and that's exactly where this warning is tracking. So everywhere in between there, from Melbourne to Fernbank, Millport, all the way up to Vernon. And this is also going to be along Mud Creek Road there. And this storm is moving at about 40 miles per hour. Here's some cities that impact Millport. It will be in your neck of the woods in 26 minutes. And now we can really see that well-defined
Oh, wow,
notching
yeah.
feature. That is a quintessential signature on our radar when we are looking for a rotating storm. Not only are we seeing this notch, but look at this, how it wraps back around. You're seeing those vibrant purples, those deep reds. That is high reflectivity there. Even though this storm has some rain wrapped around it, it is giving us some very visible signs of its strength, its intensity, and its power as it begins to move into Alabama. We want folks from state line to state line to really heed these warnings. And the reason we're so cautious right now, even though the storm is in Mississippi, it is moving in our direction, and it is going to potentially create some damaging winds. And so get to your safe place. Remember, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Stay away from windows and get to the lowest floor on the lowest floor of your home. All right, look at this. We are looking at our 3D. So we're kind of looking at the upper levels of this storm right now.
That hail.
And look at that hail core where you're seeing those purples and reds. So what's happening is you're getting this updraft. It's building up this storm, and that is going to intensify what's happening not only on Earth's surface, but in the actual atmosphere, that column thunderstorm as well. So it is creating some hail in there that's very large, and that's where it's going to be falling. Likely going to be seeing hail near Columbus. And we actually, I'm pretty sure we saw it on our camera there moments ago on those MDOT cameras where the rain was picking up, the wind was picking up, and pretty sure we captured some lightning bouncing off the roads. This tornado warning for I believe this tornado warning is still for the one in Lowndes County. Now the one for Lamar County expires at 6:15. So the time right now, 5:30. So we have about 45 minutes, giving you enough warning time as the storm crosses into Lamar County. And I will say, I think Lamar County is a good choice. It is going to be very close to that Pickens County line. But what I want to point out is I think the actual rotation, if there's a tornado, or we've observed, we now say we're calling this an observed tornado, is on the ground, it will track into Lamar County. However, some of the side effects of this thunderstorm will reach into Pickens County. So the wind gust and the heavy rain and potentially some hail, where I think the rotation will occur in Lamar County, some of the residual effects of the storm will still reach down into Pickens County. So again, we're now tracking this. It is right next to the Alabama-Mississippi state line and tracking due east. Nate?
Yeah, real quick, Michael Clark just told me that WCBI, which is in Columbus, Mississippi, just went off the air.
Wow.
So I don't know if that was a precautionary measure, if they went to evacuate, or if they got knocked off the air because of this tornado, but that shows you when we stay on as long as humanly possible to give you the very latest.
And
when
all
a broadcast,
the MDOT cameras are down too in Columbus.
and all the MDOT cameras are down too in Columbus.
Probably took
So
a power hit.
that shows you what kind of storm we're talking about. It could have been the wind, it could have been the lightning, whatever it was. This storm is very, very dangerous. When broadcast television stations go off the air, it's because they've got a tornado bearing down on them, or they've been knocked off the air because of the weather. So that goes to show how strong this storm most likely is. All that lightning, it's unbelievable. And Sarah showed us this storm most likely 45, 50,000 feet in the air. So this is a mean, nasty storm. And the hail core anywhere from say 20 to 30,000 feet shows you the strength of these updrafts. These updrafts are unbelievable causing all this very large hail, most likely falling. The only maybe saving grace that we have is the fact that our temperatures are so warm here, closer to the surface, that hail that's most likely humongous in these clouds, as it approaches, is probably going to be a little bit less than humongous. So, for lack of a better term.
And the physical tornado itself is in the process of crossing over the state line right now, based on the debris indicator. If we switch over to Lynx 2 or TVI 2, this is going to be just to the west of downtown Melbourne. So near places like County Road 12, near Wheat Road and Bain Circle, this is right on top of you right now. So if you're in downtown Melbourne, you need to get to shelter 10 minutes ago, because this has been going on in Lowndes County, and it's been holding its signature together very well for really the past 15 minutes. And as you just heard, we've got Columbus, which is out of power. We've got WCBI, which has been knocked offline, and the signature is still there. There you see it right there, where these shades of green are showing up here on the radar. That is the physical tornado. That is debris that is being thrown up in the air based on the tornado. So if you're in downtown Melbourne, you really need to seek shelter immediately.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So that's good advice. Obviously, we want everyone to be very safe right now. And there's your tornado right here. Like you said, about to cross over. Yep. Ashley's got it right there.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, this is likely going to be a dangerous situation. So folks in Lamar County, please heed these warnings. Stay inside. Keep as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Stay away from those windows. Get to the lowest floor as fast as you can, and just take cover. We're going to ride this thing out together. We'll be here on the air with you and marching you through every minute of this storm. Again, as it tracks off to the east, this tornado warning lasting until 6:15. If you live in the communities of Kennedy, that's going to be just to the east of Fernbank and Millport. Seek shelter. The community of Belk. Anybody along Highway 9 and Highway 17 also need to be taking shelter. You have Mud Creek Road here. That's going to run out of Fernbank, so take shelter. Look at this debris indicator. I will say it's starting to really show those brighter greens there. Look at that on our scale. That shows that there is more confirmation. Again, just as Griffin mentioned, a great example is just debris getting just thrown into the atmosphere. So what's happening is this storm is picking up particles, it's picking up debris off the ground and literally swirling them around in the atmosphere, and that's why we're getting that debris ball there. So this isn't your typical radar. This is a debris indicator with some of our new technology that we have right here on CBS 42. This is moving to the northeast, and not that we use this to track exactly where the tornado is, but sometimes this gets thrown just outside of that area of rotation. And look at this couplet right there, and that's near Wheat Road. And there's Mud Creek. We had just talked about that in County Road 10, and so we're going to be seeing this moving northeast right now. And a lot of times with these tornadoes, they lose a little bit of that northerly pull and they begin to slide east or south. We call them right movers. And as these storms begin to move to the right, that's also another sign that this storm is strengthening, or at a minimum, maintaining its strong characteristics. All right, this is one of our MDOT cameras.
That's from Starkville.
This looks like Mississippi State. That's the entrance sign to Mississippi State University right there. And this is, it's a wet day in Oktibbeha County. I'll tell you that much. You can see the wet roadways, but the strength of the storm has already passed through Starkville, the strongest part there. And there's Starkville on the map, so kind of pointing Starkville out. So where my finger is on Starkville, that matches where we're seeing that camera view right there along Highway 82 into Columbus. Now remember, Highway 82 goes through Columbus and then it kind of slides south towards Reform. But what we're going to be tracking is the Lamar side of this storm, not the Pickens County side of this storm, but the Lamar side. Look at this, folks. This couplet is impressive. And what we really look for the layman, without going into all the physics of the matter, we're looking for where those red and green are the brightest and the closest, and that's where we create that couplet. Shear marker. And this is what we call a shear marker. This is something that really indicates where that tornado would likely be forming. So that's right on top of where these red and greens kind of seem married together right there in the center part of your screen. This is just to the west of Fernbank and northwest of Melbourne. So folks, please get in your safe place. This is moving through Melbourne as we speak. Winds are picking up. The sky is likely pretty ominous right now, and this is going to be moving east. And it's really kind of lost a little bit of that northerly edge to it, so it's moving more east right now. This looks like Columbus. Oh, Fayette, I'm sorry. This is our Fayette camera, and this is, you can definitely see where the sky is gray there. Not a whole lot of rain is falling. We can still see the buildings there. A lot of times when these storms move through Fayette, we can really see those sheets of rainfall. It's even hard to see some of the buildings, but one of the things we're watching for is some lightning in this storm. Once the lightning begins to pick up, that's when another one of those indicators that shows the strength of these storms. All right, so right now, the center of this storm is about 20 minutes. You just saw that flash there on our Fayette camera. So Vernon's about 20 minutes from where this storm is. Again, kind of tracking east-northeast at this point. And that is just a sure sign that this storm is maintaining its strength. A lot of times, these storms, especially this time of year, are not long-lived. This storm looks like it's carrying through with a lot of that strength, but keep in mind, we still have a lot of wet air, a lot of warm air out ahead of this, so it's really tapping into that energy. And now we're beginning to get some little waves of rain out in front. That could also that will help to kind of actually draw out some of that moisture and some of those ingredients necessary for storm development. It'll kind of zap that a little bit. So if we zap a little bit of that energy out ahead of that, then we could actually start to see this storm system dwindle a little bit. Not the case as we speak. And actually, we just saw the lightning flash there in Fayette. Sarah?
Yeah, the National Weather Service just noted what we were just telling you, that the rotation is starting to weaken with this storm and that the couplet is no longer there. So we're not seeing the strength of this storm as it moved through Columbus. It is starting to weaken, which is good news for folks through Millport as well as Kennedy. And as this storm moves closer to Belk, we are seeing signs that this storm is weakening, but they are going to hold on to the warning for now because it is possible that this re-strengthens over the matter of the next few minutes, Nate.
Well, if you remember and more just brilliant lightning in Fayette, if you remember the structure of these storms back in Mississippi, these were discrete supercells. These were loners. These were rogue storms that produced tornadoes, hail, but now they're starting to kind of coalesce and become sort of a semi-broken line. Once that happens, you lose a lot of that steam from these storms. You have competing storms needing that same unstable air. And when you have a lot of those in basically the same area, it's a good thing for us because we don't have to worry about severe storms. But it's also bad for those storms. They don't have the energy they need. I will take that every single time. So this long line that you're seeing right now on Storm Team radar, it's starting to kind of come together. These aren't discrete supercells anymore. This is more of a line of storms that we thought we were going to get, and that more screams to me a severe wind risk. So even though, like Sarah said, that these storms aren't really as strong or the rotation wasn't quite as tight as they were back in Mississippi, that still doesn't mean there's not hazards. There's still going to be winds. There's still going to be lightning. There's still most likely going to be some hail with these storms as they approach. And see, the winds are still up there. The winds, we're still talking about 60-mile-an-hour winds here with these storms. So the winds aren't going to be anything to sneeze at. That's going to do plenty of damage. It's just that that tornadic signature that we watched just isn't quite there. Sarah, if you can go back to the tornado debris signature and see if that's still a thing or not.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, no problem. Because we kind of saw it was super noticeable on, if you go to the CC, that's your debris indicator.
It's lost its touch.
There we go.
It really has. So there you go.
Yeah,
so basically, this is what we were looking at, something that looked like the deep blues and greens.
Yeah, and just to point that out on the scale,
Yeah,
we were
now
seeing
it's
the
not.
green, I mean, in that high category, and now nada. And that's also another point to how quickly these storms can fizzle out. So we're going to continue tracking this off to the east. So some cities of impact, this is moving close to that Highway 96 corridor, and that connects Millport to Fayette. So there's Millport, where I'm pointing at the bottom of the screen. You've got Fayette off to the east. You have Highway 96 connecting those two. Then from Millport, you go up to Vernon, and then before you get to Vernon, you have Fernbank there. So right between Millport and Vernon, there's also Kingville, and then that's right along Highway 17. But notice how ragged the front edge of this storm system has become. You remember how pronounced that V-notch was? Well, now it just looks like just a little bitty V there. It doesn't look as pronounced as it did before. So that's one of the things that we look at. And tell you what, folks, these things can happen in 1 or 2 scans. I mean, it can go from being the looks of a very strong tornado to almost nothing on the radar. And that's another reason we stay on the air with you, because these things can quickly change for the good or for the bad. So right now it looks like things are improving for the good as far as that storm. We're still going to keep that tornado warning issued though, because again, like we've seen in the past, within 1 or 2 radar scans, this thing could take a little bit better shape again too. These storms have been noted to touch down, they lift back up, touch down again. So we don't want to just say, oh, we're done, get off the air. We're going to continue tracking this because there's still a nice little V there, just maybe not as pronounced as it was before. Again, another indicator is all of this lightning, one of the variables that shows us that there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere. It's very invigorated right now, and that really produces a lot of this lightning that we're seeing, that friction in the atmosphere. So this is tracking north-northeast, so likely out ahead of this thunderstorm. We're starting to see some more flashes being produced. The frequency of lightning, the intensity of lightning is going to increase here in Fayette as this storm gets closer. But if you'll notice, although Fayette's going to be a little bit south of this, some of that lightning may stay to the north. So our Storm Team Tower Cam is kind of facing the north there. So that's why the north sky looks so bright. We're really beginning to see this lightning. I wouldn't be surprised from our Fayette Sky Cam if we start to see that sky get a little brighter and brighter due to this lightning. So kind of zooming in, there we go, in Kingville. And that's exactly where we were talking about. Oh, looky there, just right on cue, right? So we're looking at this moving east, and that's going to be heading towards Belk in the next 24 minutes as we're tracking this. It's right now moving at roughly 40 miles per hour. A lot of rainfall. This is going to turn into a wind event, but I will say if we zoom out, this rain out ahead of this is helping this.
Yes.
All of this rain, what it's doing is it's literally drawing in that wet air, and when you do that, it prevents the main thunderstorm from growing in its own intensity. So when you have a line develop, what happens is it has to share its energy. One storm can't necessarily be greater than the other, or you see one thunderstorm draw in all the energy, or it disperses it. And right now we're seeing that energy being dispersed, and that's why this front edge is becoming, well, much less defined and much more ragged, and we're starting to see some more waves of rain kind of propagating out ahead of this, and this is now beginning to move off to the east there. So kind of moving out of Lamar into Fayette County, and then that will eventually track towards Walker County. Sarah?
And Ashley, they've extended the tornado warning slightly north to include folks in Crossville and just south of Vernon. Vernon is not actually quite in the polygon, but now we have Blooming Grove there included. So the tornado warning has been tilted a little bit northward as the track of the center of this storm and area of rotation is lifting just slightly to the north. So now we have the tornado warning extending a little bit more north into Lamar County, but it has not shifted into Fayette just yet. Still seeing lightning pick up well ahead of the storm, as Ashley was mentioning. You are seeing a lot of lightning through Vernon as well as Blooming Grove, and this will continue to track towards Bluff. Nate.
Yeah, so I guess that might be kind of dumb to say this, but it's now dark. It's starting to get dark. Once we have these warnings issued, if these warnings get reissued and we still have storms that are energized, we want to make sure everyone's inside and not trying to take pictures of these things. When severe weather happens after dark, it's obviously the worst possible time because you can't get eyeballs on these storms. So these tower cameras are going to be infinitely important to see where the strongest lightning is, and Fayette's lighting up like a Christmas tree right now. But what we want to reiterate to everyone is once you see the sun go down and once it gets dark, seeing these storms is going to be basically impossible unless you get it, exactly perfect. So we don't want you outside taking pictures, trying to get video of these. We love the video during the daytime when we have really good eyeballs on it, but right now it's pretty dangerous to try to get video of this if you're in the path of this storm. We want you to be inside. We want you to be safe right now. And the strongest part of the storm, like we've been talking about, in Lamar County, about to enter Kingville. This storm has a history producing lots of hail, also strong damaging winds, and of course a tornado. We're sticking with the tornado warning. It goes for another half an hour until 6:15. we have heard from the National Weather Service, like Sarah was talking about, that this storm is starting to lose its punch. And we've been talking about the fact that it just hasn't looked quite as good on radar here are the last few scans, here the last, say, 20 minutes or so. Griffin, if we could widen out just a bit and go current with the radar. And actually, no, let's go ahead and loop the radar for about an hour and look at this storm that we were tracking in Columbus. And this thing was a prolific producer of some hail. And this thing looked really good, you know, about an hour ago. And we watched the tornado debris signature that just popped off at us. And that now has really started to wane. So that's good news, obviously, from back about an hour ago.
I'm going to rewind it and show what it looked like.
Perfect.
This is what it looked like when it was coming through Lamar County. And you can see how the signature itself just kind of lost its steam as it crossed the state line. But that doesn't mean that we don't have any damage that's happened in Lamar County. You see farther just to the northwest of Melbourne, that's where that tornado passed through. But for now, it doesn't appear to be very impressive. This is the current data right there. It's still got that shear lock there, which is that little rotation marker that you see to the north of Fernbank, but there's no debris being lofted by this storm, which is definitely some good news.